Everybody, welcome to Storm Talk. Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good here on this Thursday afternoon. Now we're finally to the final leg here of this multi-day storm system that's producing severe weather across the eastern half of the country, and we've had a lot of heavy rain with that as well. The good news is this is the final end of this, and it looks like in the next 12 hours we'll finally get a chance to say goodbye to the storm potential and a chance to enjoy what looks to be a nice looking weekend. And start off with the outlooks as we always do for this afternoon. The enhanced look is located across areas of Illinois all the way down into Texas and mainly west of I-65. East of 65 is mainly into the slight risk category. But either way, everybody has a chance at severe weather as we head into this afternoon, and especially into the overnight period with the squall line. But keep in mind, look at the map and notice the higher threat, the main message I want you to get from that is the higher threat is west more so than it is over us or east. All right, now as we head into tomorrow, we finally get a chance to get out of an outlook for once, the first time in several days. It's all to the south, and even as we head into Saturday, we're in great shape. So here's the latest look at the radar trends. We've had some thunderstorms, some with very intense lightning. We had more than 10,000 people without light or without electricity for a while in the Louisville metro when the storm came through. No warning with it because the winds only gusted about 40 miles per hour, but still got some warnings now for these storms as they approach Cincinnati, as they're a little stronger, especially with larger hail into that area. And couldn't even see a severe thunderstorm watch come out for Ohio and northeast Kentucky for this cluster of storms. You see how quickly, though, I mean, yes, the radar is looping, but even for a loop, these storms are moving rapidly to the northeast. So a very strong flow right now out of the southwest over our area, and that's the reason why there is a better chance for strong wind gusts, damaging wind gusts of the storms that could happen over the next 24 hours compared to the past few days, because the wind fields have certainly increased. Now, a wider view will show you temperatures on the maps so far, close to 80 in our southern counties. We're not far from it. We've still got a kind of a mixed cloud cover in the region now, so we haven't had a chance to really jump up temperature-wise, but any sun we pick up, it won't take long. And you can see it's not overly cloudy. It's more of a messy, cloudy picture here. We've got pockets of clearing that are taking place, but enough to allow some heating to develop. If you look carefully here across Kansas City, we call that a good moisture convergence line. It's developing there in Kansas City all the way down northeast areas of Oklahoma. You can already see the thunderstorms begin to pop here. They just issued a tornado watch for this entire region already, anticipating for the severe weather to break out with rotating storms rapidly in that area. For us, very strong warm flow moving into the Ohio Valley. In fact, the winds have been gusting at times over 30 miles per hour. Now, here's where things get a little tricky for us. We still have a chance to see a pop-up storm between now and the main squall line that moves in around midnight. But right now, there's not much happening on the radar. We cannot rule it out, but if we do get anything to develop, it would likely be more cellular in nature. And this it tells us that we've got quite a bit of wind shear all over the Ohio Valley, really, back to the west. And again, this is something that's been really missing the past few days. Widespread wind fields that are supportive to produce some severe weather over a large area. This is a look at the supercell potential, and you can see the best chance to see that would be over areas of Illinois and southeast Missouri, to a lesser degree over us. But again, if anything were to pop ahead of the line, it would likely be supercellular, and those are the ones you got to watch for some brief rotation, maybe a brief tornado spin up that can take place. But more than anything, you have the potential for some large hail, because it's going to get very warm this afternoon, and with the instability the way it is, certainly see hailstones more than quarter size out of these storms if they do begin to pop. So we'll watch that for additional warnings. But the main event still will take place to our west. Here's the helicity values. This shows us basically the ability for anything to really begin to rotate. Best chance really for anything tornadic would be better to our north and ahead of the cold front itself, mainly ahead of the low pressure, which is a typical spot for helicity values to really begin to skyrocket. And that actually is going to be moving in a northeast direction. So if you look at this map, these values will be progressing more northeast, not due east along the front. So it's mainly going to be Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio have a better chance to see some tornado potential out of some of these storms here for this afternoon and for the squall line this evening. And once you get south of 64, it really begins to fade away. But again, we'll watch that and take it hour by hour. So let me show you a couple of models as far as their opinions of how things will play out for us this afternoon. Doesn't really show a whole lot popping. We'll keep an eye and see if these cells can get going. Otherwise, it's the main line then we prepare for, and it's trying to bring it in. This is the RPM model just after midnight to our western counties. Keep in mind, anytime you get storms that try to get into a linear fashion, they have a tendency to have Boeing segments, and that can speed up the progression on some portions of the line. So this timing here can certainly change 1 or 2 hours in either end. So it could be as early as 11 p.m. and as late as 2 a.m. in some cases. But either way, it's going to be later tonight. The line moves through, and even at this point, it's still trying to hint there could be some cells that could be fairly isolated built into that line. We'll watch it. And then as we head into the late portion here of the squall line moving through, it's really just kind of marginal. I mean, most of the action begins to fade into the better instability in southern Kentucky, and then the northern part, even though the winds are better in this area, really just doesn't seem to hold the line together. We'll see if that happens or not. Again, this is one of the models we're looking at here suggesting such. Here's another one. This is the Triple R model. And as it moves through this afternoon, again, isolate cells possible, otherwise mainly dry and quite warm and windy throughout this evening. And then we get the main line that moves through. Now, what this model is trying to do is bring up the idea of isolated storms popping ahead of the main line itself, moving out of Tennessee into our area. Those, if that were to be the case, those are the ones that you got to watch for large hail, maybe some rotating storms there. So we'll watch that potential if this model is right. And then another batch of the line here across Indiana, and then it's out of here with mostly just a heavy rain threat after 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's still overall just a borderline situation when it comes to severe weather. It's one of those things where you got to take it hour by hour. Potential is there for some gusty winds, large hail, flash flooding. It's only going to take an inch of rain to cause flash flooding. So we could see flash flood warnings come out easily with this line of storms, even though they are progressing. It's a good thing they are progressing, because if it was slower, it'd be a worse scenario. But they're moving fast enough that should limit the rainfall potential out of this. Tornado threat is there, but again, not off the charts. Much higher north and much higher to our northwest. Looking down the road, we're back at it again. After a nice weekend, we're going to get back into a warm atmosphere and humid atmosphere again. It looks like as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, more thunderstorms in the forecast. And this has been an interesting trend here in the midday runs. Some of the models have been hinting at this the past few days, but it's showing a deep low pressure, perhaps even a cutoff upper low that could get stuck over us just in time for thunder over Louisville, and the indices matching that as well, indicating as we head toward the 16th of April, we're going negative on the AO and NAO and positive in the PNA, which would support a trough developing with some cool air in the eastern part of the country. And sure enough, the GFS is showing that cutoff low with some light rain and drizzle, and yeah, that blue, it would be snow, although I'm not really sure that the boundary temperatures, the lower level temperatures will allow snow. It probably would be sleet if anything would mix in with that, but let's hope that forecast changes. It's still a week away for thunder, but it wouldn't be the first time that has happened. It's happened several times, in fact, for thunder. All right, that's how it stands right now when it comes to severe weather for this afternoon. Keep in mind, we're going to update your grab-and-go videos. We'll have updates on the weather blog throughout the evening as well, and on social media on Twitter and Facebook. And our newscasts begin at 5 o'clock with the latest on the radar views and the timing as these storms progress. We're almost there, guys. 12 more hours, and it's over.